The rain pounded against the window of my small Brooklyn apartment like an accusation I couldn't escape. I stared at the phone in my hand, the message from my sister Jamie glowing in the dim light. "Lenora, I need to talk. Please." It had been 5 years since she'd slammed the door on our relationship, all because her boyfriend, now husband, couldn't stomach the idea of a queer sister-in-law tainting his perfect little world. That night, the memory hit me like a freight train. It was Thanksgiving 2021, our family's annual gathering at Mom and Dad's house in suburban New Jersey. I'd finally mustered the courage to come out, not just to them, but to bring Sarah along, my girlfriend of 2 years, the woman who'd made me feel seen for the first time. Sarah was everything. Sharp-witted, with a laugh that could light up the darkest room, and eyes that held a quiet strength. We met at a coffee shop in Manhattan where she worked as a barista while pursuing her art degree. Our connection was instant, a spark that grew into a fire I couldn't ignore. But Jamie? She was my older sister by 3 years, the golden child, straight-A student, married young to Mark, the all-American guy with a steady job in finance. They just announced their engagement that fall, and the house was buzzing with excitement. I thought sharing my truth would bring us closer, like it had with our parents, who were awkwardly supportive in that boomer way. Hugs, tears, and promises to learn more. The dinner started fine. Turkey carved, wine poured, laughter echoing. Then Mark made a joke, something casual but cutting, about those rainbow parades turning the city into a freak show. I froze, but Sarah squeezed my hand under the table. I decided to speak up. "Actually, Mark, Sarah and I are together. We're lesbians." The room went silent. Mom dropped her fork. Dad cleared his throat. Jamie's face twisted from surprise to something darker, betrayal maybe? Or fear. By dessert, the tension was thick. Mark pulled Jamie aside, whispering furiously. I overheard snippets. "Your sister's lifestyle. It's not right for our future kids. Family image." Jamie nodded along, her eyes avoiding mine. Later that night, as Sarah and I packed to leave early, Jamie cornered me in the hallway. "Lenora, how could you do this? Mark's uncomfortable. He's traditional. This is going to ruin everything." Her words stung like acid. "Ruin what? Your perfect wedding? Or the fact that I'm happy?" I shot back, my voice trembling. She didn't back down. "You need to think about the family. If you keep this up, don't expect an invite to the wedding. And maybe we need space." Space? We'd been inseparable growing up, sharing secrets, defending each other from bullies. Now, because of Mark's bigotry, she was choosing him over me. I left in tears, Sarah holding me as we drove back to the city. That was the last time we spoke for years. In the months that followed, the fallout rippled through our lives. Mom and Dad tried to mediate, but Jamie dug in. She blocked my number, unfriended me on social media. At her wedding, I wasn't there. Photos flooded Instagram, her smiling and white, Mark beaming. I scrolled through them alone, a bottle of wine my only company. Sarah urged me to move on, but the wound festered. How could blood turn so cold? Work became my escape. As a graphic designer at a Midtown agency, I threw myself into projects, climbing the ladder to senior level. Sarah's art career took off too. Her paintings of urban solitude sold in galleries. We built a life together. Weekend brunches in the village, quiet evenings reading on our couch. But the absence of family gnawed at me. Holidays were hollow. I'd stare at old photos of Jamie and me as kids, wondering where it went wrong. Social prejudice amplified the pain. Friends shared stories of similar rejections, but it didn't soften the blow. At Pride events, I'd march with Sarah, feeling empowered yet isolated. Why fight for acceptance when your own sister won't? I'd whisper to her. She had no answers, just held me tighter. Then, 2 years in, the first betrayal from my side. In a moment of weakness, I reached out to Jamie via email apologizing. Not for being gay, but for springing it on everyone. Pathetic, I know. No response. It hardened me. I stopped trying. Focused on therapy, unpacking the internalized shame. My therapist, Dr. Ellis, drilled into me. Family isn't obligation, it's choice. But choosing to let go felt like amputating a limb. By year 3, Sarah and I discussed marriage. It was a quiet proposal in Central Park, under cherry blossoms. Yes, I said, tears streaming. But planning the wedding unearthed old hurts. Who to invite? Mom and Dad, yes. Jamie. The invitation sat unsent for weeks. Finally, I mailed it, a test. Days later, a curt RSVP. Decline. No note. That night I broke down. Sarah consoled me, but I saw the strain in her eyes. Was my family drama poisoning us? The decision came swiftly. We eloped in a small ceremony with friends. No regrets, but the ghost of Jamie lingered. Social media showed her life progressing. A house in the suburbs, a baby on the way. Mark's post dripped with conservative pride. Anti-LGBTQ memes shared casually. I wondered if she saw them, if they ate at her like they did me. Year 4 brought unexpected news. Mom called. Jamie's pregnant again, but things are rocky with Mark. I feigned interest, but inside resentment boiled. Why care? She'd chosen her path. Yet, when the baby arrived, a niece I'd never meet, curiosity won. I stalked their profiles, seeing Jamie's tired smiles. Was she happy? Or trapped in the life she defended so fiercely? The internal conflict peaked at a family reunion Mom organized, sans Jamie's input. I went, hoping for closure. Dad hugged me tight. We miss you both together. But Jamie didn't show. Later, I learned Mark forbade it. He's worried about influences on the kids, Mom said sadly. Influences? Me? The label burned. That night Sarah and I argued, my first real snap at her. Why can't you just forget them? She pleaded. Because they're blood. I yelled. The silence after was deafening. We made up, but the cracks showed. As year 5 dawned, my career soared. A promotion to creative director. Sarah's exhibit opened to rave reviews. Life was good but incomplete. Then the message arrived. Lenora, I need to talk. Please. My heart raced. What now? Part of me wanted to ignore it, payback for years of silence. But curiosity, and that stubborn sibling bond, won. I replied. Coffee tomorrow? Neutral ground. We met at a diner in Midtown, rain slicking the streets. Jamie looked older, lines around her eyes, no makeup hiding the exhaustion. No hug, just awkward nods. Thanks for coming, she said, voice shaky. Mark and I were divorcing. The words hung. Shocking yet not. He cheated, she continued. With his secretary. But that's not why I'm here. She paused, sipping coffee. It's about us. About what I did. Tears welled. I was wrong, Lenora. So wrong. Mark's views. I let them poison me. I was scared of losing him, of what people would say. But losing you? That's the real regret. Her confession hit hard. Part of me rejoiced vindication. But the damage? Irreparable? I listened as she poured out years of suppressed guilt. How she defended Mark's homophobia to fit in. How therapy revealed her own biases. I want to make amends. Meet Sarah. Be aunts to each other's kids. Wait, do you have kids? I shook my head. Not yet. The conversation stretched, raw and real. Betrayals aired. Her silence at my pain, my resentment fueling distance. But forgiveness? Not easy. You shunned me, Jamie. For him. She nodded. I know. I paid the price, lonely marriage, fake smiles. Now with the divorce I'm starting over. Alone with 2 kids. Sympathy stirred but caution held. Was this genuine? Or desperation? We parted with promises to talk more. Driving home, emotions swirled. Sarah waited, supportive but wary. What do you want? She asked. I didn't know. Reconciliation meant risking hurt again. Rejection meant eternal rift. The choice loomed heavy with moral weight. The weeks after our coffee meeting were a whirlwind of tentative reconnections. Jamie texted daily. Photos of her kids, Mia and Ethan, chubby-cheeked toddlers with my eyes. They'd love an Aunt Lenora, she'd say. I showed Sarah, who smiled politely but cautioned. Don't rush. Remember the pain. She was right. Trust once shattered rebuilds slowly. Work distracted me. A big client pitch loomed, demanding late nights. But thoughts of Jamie intruded. Flashbacks to childhood. Us building forts in the backyard, whispering dreams under covers. She'd wanted the white picket fence. I'd craved adventure. How had we diverged so far? One evening, Mom called ecstatic. "Jamie's opening up." She told me about Mark's affair. Horrible man. I learned more. Mark's infidelity wasn't isolated. He'd been controlling, dictating friends, even her job as a teacher. "He hated anything progressive," Mom said. "Including you." It explained but didn't excuse. Jamie had chosen to echo his views. I decided on a test. Invited her to our apartment for dinner. "No kids, just adults." Sarah agreed, though tense. "I'll be civil," she promised. The night arrived, Jamie bearing wine and apologies. "Sarah, I'm so sorry for how I acted." Sarah nodded coolly. "Actions speak louder." Dinner was awkward at first, small talk about weather, jobs. Then the dam broke. Jamie admitted. "I was jealous too. You were free, living authentically. I was stuck in expectations." Her vulnerability surprised me. "Jealous? You had everything." She laughed bitterly. "Appearances." Mark controlled the narrative. When I questioned his views on LGBTQ rights, he'd shut me down. We delved deeper. She shared how social pressure in their conservative circle amplified it. Church friends whispering about sinful influences. "I betrayed you to fit in," she confessed. Tears flowed. Sarah softened, sharing her own coming-out story. Disowned by conservative parents in the Midwest. "Family rejection cuts deep," she said. Jamie listened, eyes wide. "I caused that for you both." The evening ended on a high, hugs, plans for more. But doubt lingered. Was this awakening real? Or a rebound from divorce chaos? As months passed, integrations began. Jamie attended a pride event with us, hesitant but there. She met our friends, absorbed stories of struggle and triumph. "I get it now," she'd say. But confrontations arose. At a family barbecue, Dad joked insensitively about the gays. Jamie called him out, first time ever. "Dad, that's hurtful. Lenora is family." Shock rippled, pride swelled in me. Yet, betrayals resurfaced. Digging through old emails, I found one from Jamie to Mark post-Thanksgiving. "Lenora's choice is disgusting. We can't have that around." Reading it, fury reignited. I confronted her. "How could you write that?" She broke down. "I was brainwashed. Scared. But I'm changing." Change cost her. Divorce proceedings turned ugly. Mark fighting custody, smearing her as unfit for associating with me now. "He's using my past support of his views against me," she vented. I offered help, lawyer referrals from LGBTQ networks. She accepted, grateful. The sacrifice bonded us. Internally, I wrestled. Forgiving meant vulnerability. Sarah noticed my withdrawal. "You're pulling away from me to fix this." We argued fiercely. "It's family. And I'm your family now." The truth hit. I'd neglected her in this reconciliation quest. Apologies mended, but the lesson stuck, balance required. Social dynamics shifted. Jamie joined support groups for allies, educating herself. She volunteered at LGBTQ centers, making amends broader. "For you and for me," she said. But prejudice struck back. Her ex-friends shunned her, calling her traitor. Isolation mirrored mine years ago. "Now I understand your pain," she admitted. A pivotal moment. Mia's birthday party. Jamie invited us. Kids ran wild. Sarah charmed them with stories. Mark showed for drop-off, glaring. "This is what you're exposing them to," he snarled. Jamie stood tall. "Love Mark. That's what." He stormed off. Later, she confided. That felt empowering. Her growth inspired, but the cost, potential custody battles, loomed. My own awakening deepened. Therapy sessions explored resentment's roots. Not just Jamie, but societal norms pressuring conformity. "You both were victims," Dr. Ellis said. Victims? It reframed. Jamie's choices, though wrong, stemmed from fear. Mine from hurt. High tension built during the divorce hearing. I testified as character witness, praising Jamie's evolution. Mark's lawyer grilled me. "Isn't your lifestyle a bad influence?" I fired back. "Love isn't a lifestyle, it's human." The judge noted it. Jamie won joint custody, a victory hard won. Post-hearing, we celebrated quietly. "Thank you," she whispered. But euphoria faded. Reality. Rebuilding trust ongoing. A slip-up. Jamie hesitating on a pro-LGBTQ post online sparked doubt. Still ashamed? I asked. No, just habits. Honesty helped. Sarah and I discussed kids. With Jamie back, family feels possible. She agreed, excited. But moral dilemmas persisted. Had I forgiven too easily? Or was holding grudges the real betrayal? As bonds strengthened, a new conflict emerged. Jamie dated again, a woman? No, a progressive guy. But she confided curiosity about her own sexuality. Watching you and Sarah made me question. Shock. Supportive, but it complicated. Was her awakening self-discovery? The pace intensified. A family crisis. Dad's heart attack. Hospital vigil united us. Jamie and I shared shifts, talking deep into nights. Confessions flowed. Her regrets, my angers. I damaged us, she said. But we're healing. Tears sealed it. Yet the price paid echoed. Lost years, strained relationships. Sarah's patience tested. Worth it? She asked. I nodded, but uncertainty gnawed. Dad's recovery marked a turning point. Home from the hospital, he reflected. Life's too short for divisions. Jamie and I nodded, but actions needed to follow. We organized family therapy, group sessions unpacking decades of unspoken tensions. Mom admitted enabling silence. Dad owned his outdated views. Jamie bared her soul. I let fear rule me. I shared my isolation's toll. Tears breakthroughs, slow but real. Socially, Jamie faced backlash. Her teaching job at a private school came under fire. Parents complaining about her new alliances. They're saying I'm promoting agendas, she vented. The irony. Years ago, she'd echoed those sentiments. Now, defending LGBTQ rights cost her professionally. She fought back, rallying colleagues. This is for my sister, she declared. The board relented, but the stress showed: sleepless nights, weight loss. My life intertwined more. Mia and Ethan visited our apartment, giggling at Sarah's paints. Auntie Lenora, draw a rainbow. Mia begged. I did, heartful. But shadows lurked. Mark escalated post-divorce, harassing calls, threats to expose family secrets. He means you, Jamie said. We reported it, but fear lingered. Protection order granted, yet the violation stung. Internal mouthwash peaked. Doubting Jamie's motives, I snooped, checked her old social media, found deleted posts supporting anti-gay bills. Confrontation ensued. Why hide this? I was ashamed. Her honesty disarmed, but trust frayed. Prove it, I demanded. She did. Public apology post tagging me. Viral in our circles, it drew praise and hate. Trolls attacked. Fake ally. She weathered it stronger. Sarah's role evolved. Initially wary, she bonded with Jamie over shared interests. Books, feminism. She's trying, Sarah conceded. But a betrayal surfaced. Jamie confided in Sarah privately. I envy your relationship. Mine with Mark was hollow. Innocent, but it sparked jealousy in me. Why tell her, not me? Petty but raw. We navigated. Communication key. Moral choices compounded. Jamie's new boyfriend, Tom, open-minded, supportive, met us. Nice guy, but he pushed her to cut Mark off completely. For the kids' sake? I questioned. She wavered, torn between peace and co-parenting. What's right? She asked. I advised balance, but inside revenge tempted. Encouraged severance. I resisted. Growth meant better. Tension built at a pride parade. Jamie marched with us, sign reading ally for my sister. Empowering until counter-protesters yelled slurs. One targeted her. Traitor mom. She froze, then shouted back. Love wins. Adrenaline surged. After she trembled. That was terrifying. Her sacrifice, public vulnerability, cemented respect. But damage accumulated. My work suffered. Distractions led to a botched project. Boss pulled me aside. Get it together. Home, Sarah noticed. This reconciliation is costing you. True. Sleep lost to overthinking. Therapy helped. Boundaries. I set them: weekly calls, not daily. Jamie's awakening deepened. She volunteered more, even speaking at events about her journey from prejudice to ally. I lost my sister once, won't again. Audiences moved but skeptics accused opportunism. After divorce suddenly woke? Comments hurt her. Am I? She asked me. No, I assured. But doubt seeded. A major confrontation. Thanksgiving redux. Whole family gathered first in years. Toasts laughs. Then Uncle Bob, conservative relative, made a homophobic quip. Jamie exploded. Not in this house. Argument ensued. You've changed, he sneered. For the better, she retorted. I backed her. Family divided. Bob left early. Victory but rift widened. Post-holiday reflection. Had we traded one division for another? Moral gray. Progress demands discomfort. Jamie paid dearly, lost friends, strained extended family. Personal toll on me, anxiety spikes. Sarah suggested space. From Jamie. Temporarily. Hurt but wise. I agreed. During break, clarity. Forgiveness ongoing. Not instant. Reconnection resumed cautiously. Jamie shared big news. Promotion at work despite drama. Thanks to advocacy skills. Irony sweet. But kids struggled. Ethan asking why daddy's mad. Because auntie loves a girl, Mia innocently said. Jamie corrected gently, educating early. Ethical dilemma. Mark sued for full custody, citing Jamie's radical shift. Court again. I testified stronger. She's a great mom evolved. We won but exhaustion hit. Jamie broke. Worth it. Echoing my thoughts. As Bond solidified a twist. Jamie admitted bisexual curiosity. Watching you inspired. Supportive but it blurred lines. Was her regret tied to self-discovery? Confronted gently. Doesn't invalidate your apology. She agreed, exploring privately. Climax approached. A gala for LGBTQ rights, Sarah's art featured. Jamie attended, glowing. But Mark crashed drunk, causing scene. You're corrupting her. Security ejected him. Jamie shaken but resolute. No more fear. Aftermath strengthened us. But costs tallied. Emotional scars, time lost. Sarah and I announced pregnancy plans, surrogacy. Jamie ecstatic. Aunt Judy's. Yet questions lingered. Right choices. Or endless debate. Pregnancy news shifted dynamics. Sarah and I chose a donor, started treatments. Jamie offered support. Rides to appointments, meal preps grateful, but her enthusiasm bordered intrusive. Back off, Sarah snapped once. Jamie apologized, learning boundaries. Social prejudice reared again. At a baby shower, mixed family and friends, whispers about two moms. Jamie overheard, confronted. Love makes a family. Her defense warmed me. But internal conflict. Relying on her felt risky. Flashbacks to shunning haunted. Work stabilized. I mentored juniors on inclusive design. Jamie, inspired, incorporated LGBTQ history and lessons. Parents complained. School investigated. Standing up costs, she said. Suspension loomed. I rallied support, petitions, media. Cleared but reputation dinged. Sacrifice noted. Betrayal echo. Discovered Jamie had confided in Mom about my past doubts. She was worried, Mom said. Furious. Private. Confrontation. I needed advice. Trust tested anew. No more secrets. She agreed but wariness grew. Moral quandaries intensified. Mark's harassment escalated, online smears. Lesbian influence ruining kids. We countered legally. Jamie wavered. Settle or fight? Fight, I urged. Court victory but therapy bills mounted. Price paid, financial strain. Sarah's pregnancy progressed, twins. Joy mixed with stress. Jamie babysat her kids. Reciprocity building. But a slip. She casually used outdated term. Corrected sharply. Sorry, learning. Progress uneven. High-stakes decision. Holidays. Host at hours. Family came, tensions simmered. Dad praised growth. But Jamie's ex-friend crashed. Invited by mistake? Drama. Accusations of faking change. Jamie defended fiercely. I've paid for my mistakes. Ejection but night soured. Awakening continued. Jamie dated a woman briefly, exploring. Scary but real. Supportive but it complicated sibling role. Ended amicably, she reflected. Thanks to you, I question norms. Internal damage surfaced. My anxiety led to therapy increase. Forgiveness fatigue, Dr. Ellis called it. Sarah echoed. Protect us. Boundaries redrawn. Climax built. Mark's final ploy, kidnapping scare. He took kids unauthorized. Panic. Police involved, returned safely. Jamie devastated. My choices led here. No, his bigotry did. United, we sued for sole custody. 1. Relief immense, but trauma lingered. Post-victory reflection. Jamie. I'd do it again for truth. Me too. Bonds deeper but scars permanent. Family evolved. Pride events became tradition. Jamie marched proudly. Social acceptance grew. Prejudices challenged. Yet costs. Lost innocence for kids, emotional toll. Sarah gave birth Ella and Noah. Jamie held them, tears flowing. New start. But questions. Was reconciliation worth the pain? The announcement of our pregnancy plans brought a new layer of complexity to our rekindled relationship. Sarah and I had decided on surrogacy after months of discussions, selecting a donor who matched our visions for the future. Jamie was over the moon when we told her, offering to help with everything from doctor appointments to nursery ideas. I've got experience with 2 little ones, she said, her eyes lighting up. It was touching, but Sarah pulled me aside later. She's enthusiastic, but it's our journey. Don't let her take over. I nodded, realizing the fine line between support and intrusion. As treatments began, the hormones and stress tested us all. Jamie drove us to the clinic once, chatting nonstop about her own pregnancies. Morning sickness is the worst, but worth it. Sarah smiled tightly, her hand on my knee. Later, tension boiled over when Jamie suggested names, traditional ones that clashed with our modern tastes. What about something classic like Emily? Sarah snapped. We'll decide. Jamie backed off, apologetic. I overstepped. Sorry. It was a learning moment, but it highlighted how far we still had to go. Meanwhile, Jamie's professional life was in turmoil. Inspired by our conversations, she'd started incorporating lessons on LGBTQ history into her curriculum at the elementary school. Kids need to learn tolerance early, she explained. But conservative parents caught wind and complained to the administration. She's pushing an agenda, one email read. The school launched an investigation, putting Jamie on paid leave. She called me in tears. This is what standing up costs. But I won't back down. I mobilized our network, friends in education, LGBTQ advocates, to write letters of support. Local media picked up the story, framing it as a fight for inclusive education. In the end, the school cleared her, but the damage was done. Her reputation took a hit and some colleagues distanced themselves. Worth it? She asked me over coffee. For the kids who need it, yes, I replied. Her sacrifice mirrored the ones I'd made years ago, forging a deeper empathy between us. On the personal front, old betrayals resurfaced in unexpected ways. While cleaning out my email archives, I stumbled upon a forwarded message from Mom, something Jamie had sent her during our estrangement. In it, Jamie expressed worry about my lifestyle choices affecting the family. I was just venting, Jamie explained when I confronted her. I needed someone to talk to. But it felt like a fresh wound. Those were private thoughts and they hurt, I said, my voice steady but edged with anger. She nodded, tears in her eyes. I know. No more secrets. I promise. We hugged it out, but a sliver of wariness remained. Trust, I realized, was a muscle that needed constant exercise. The moral dilemmas kept piling up. Mark's post-divorce behavior turned increasingly erratic. He started posting online smears, accusing Jamie of exposing the kids to unnatural influences. Code for me and Sarah. It escalated to harassing texts, demanding more visitation. Jamie was torn. Settle quietly to keep peace or fight back and risk a drawn-out battle. What's best for Mia and Ethan? She agonized. I urged her to stand firm. You've come too far to let him bully you. We hired a lawyer, and the court imposed stricter boundaries. But the legal fees drained her savings, and the emotional toll was visible in her hollow cheeks. This is the price of my past blindness, she said one night. It was hard not to feel a twinge of vindication, but mostly it was pity, and a reminder that choices have long shadows. Sarah's pregnancy advanced smoothly at first, but complications arose, high blood pressure requiring bed rest. Jamie stepped up, bringing meals and watching the kids so I could focus on work. It was a godsend, but one evening, Jamie used an outdated term for LGBTQ people in casual conversation. "You mean queer or gay?" I corrected sharply. She flushed. "Old habits. I'm still learning." It was minor, but it underscored the ongoing work. Sarah from the couch added, "Intent matters but impact too." Jamie took it in stride, later sending articles she'd read on allyship. The tension culminated in our decision to host Christmas at our apartment, the first major holiday since the reconciliation. The whole family came, including extended relatives. The evening started warmly with gifts and carols. Dad even toasted to new beginnings. But then Jamie's old friend from her conservative circle showed up uninvited. Someone Mom had mistakenly included. The woman cornered Jamie. "You've changed. Faking this ally thing for attention." Jamie's face hardened. "I've woken up. And if you can't see that, leave." The argument escalated, drawing everyone in. I backed Jamie, Sarah mediated. The friend stormed out, but the night was tainted. Later, Jamie confided, "That hurt, but I feel free." Jamie's personal exploration added another layer. She briefly dated a woman from her support group, confiding in me about it. "It's scary, but it feels authentic." I was supportive, offering advice from my own experiences. The relationship didn't last, but it prompted her to reflect. "Your courage inspired me to question everything." It blurred the lines of our sibling bond, making me wonder if her apology was partly tied to her own identity journey. I broached it gently. "Does this change anything about us?" "No," she assured. "My regret is genuine regardless." My own mental health strained under the weight. Anxiety attacks increased, leading to more therapy sessions. Dr. Ellis diagnosed forgiveness fatigue, the exhaustion of rebuilding. Sarah echoed the concern. "We need to protect our family first." I agreed, setting firmer boundaries. Scheduled visits, no unsolicited advice. It helped. The climax hit when Mark attempted a desperate move, a kidnapping scare. He picked up the kids for his weekend but didn't return them on time, claiming emergency. Panic ensued, calls to police, frantic searches. They were found at his parents' house, safe but scared. Jamie was hysterical. "My past choices led to this madness." But no, I insisted, it was his unchecked bigotry. We pressed charges, and the court awarded her sole custody. The relief was palpable, but the trauma left marks. Nightmares for the kids, therapy for all. In the aftermath, our bond felt unbreakable. Jamie said, "I'd endure it all again for the truth we've found." I agreed, but the cumulative costs, emotional scars, financial hits, time lost weighed heavy. With Sarah nearing delivery, hope bloomed. When Ella and Noah arrived, Jamie was there, holding them with tears in her eyes. A fresh start for us all. Still, the internal conflicts persisted. Had the pain been necessary for growth? Or could we have chosen differently? The twins' arrival transformed everything. Sleepless nights, tiny cries, overwhelming love. Sarah and I navigated parenthood in a haze of joy and exhaustion. Jamie became a fixture, helping with feeds and naps. "You've got this," she'd encourage. Her kids adored their new cousins, playdates becoming routine. But beneath the harmony, undercurrents of past hurts simmered. Social integration deepened. We attended family events as a unit, Jamie introducing us proudly. "My sister and her wife." Whispers faded, acceptance grew. But prejudice struck unexpectedly. At a school event for Mia, a parent confronted Jamie. "Your family's unconventional." She replied calmly, "Love is love." Later she vented to me. "It never ends." True, society's biases lingered, testing resolve. Internal awakenings continued. Jamie pursued therapy diligently, unpacking her upbringing's role in her choices. "Dad's subtle homophobia shaped me," she admitted. "We confronted him together, gentle but firm. Time to evolve." He listened, changed slowly. Mom beamed. Proud of you girls. Betrayal's echoes faded, replaced by trust-building acts. Jamie shared her divorce settlement, offering help with twins' costs. No strings. Grateful we accepted modestly. Moral balance. Giving back what was taken emotionally. Confrontations lessened, but one final test arose. Mark, post-custody loss, reached out apologetically. I was wrong. Jamie debated responding. Closure or trap? I advised caution. She met him neutrally, boundaries set. No forgiveness yet, she reported. But understanding. Her maturity impressed. Our lives intertwined fully. Sarah's art incorporated family themes, paintings of blended bonds. Jamie modeled for one, symbolizing redemption. Exhibited, it drew acclaim. Your story inspires, viewers said. Yet, damages assessed. Years of isolation's toll on my mental health. Sarah's patience stretched, Jamie's career setbacks. Kids exposed to conflict early. Was the journey worth it? Climax resolved in quiet moments. A park picnic, whole family laughing. Dad held a twin, mom chased toddlers. Jamie and I sat aside. We made it, she said. I nodded. At what cost? The story closes on reflection. Choices, shunning, forgiving, carried consequences. Growth from pain but debatable ethics. Was shunning a sister for her identity ever justifiable? Or does family obligation demand unconditional acceptance, regardless of external pressures? With the twins home, our Brooklyn apartment buzzed with new life. Ella's coos and Noah's cries filled the space. A symphony of chaos and delight. Sarah and I tag-teamed parenthood, learning on the fly. Jamie proved invaluable. Dropping by with homemade meals, rocking fussy babies so we could nap. Remember when I was the one overwhelmed? She'd laugh, referencing her early days with Mia and Ethan. Her kids, now preschoolers, were enchanted by their cousins, gently patting heads and whispering stories. It was the family tableau I dreamed of during those lonely years, but it came with caveats. As the months unfolded, social dynamics evolved. We started attending joint family outings, zoo trips, beach days. Jamie made a point to introduce us fully. This is my sister Lenora and her wife Sarah, with the adorable twins. The pride in her voice was new. A far cry from the avoidance of old. Whispers from onlookers occurred. Curious stares at our non-traditional setup. But Jamie addressed them head-on. At one park playdate, a nosy mom asked, "How does that work with two moms?" Jamie smiled. "Love, patience, and a lot of coffee." Later, she confided, "It still stings, but I'm not hiding anymore." Society's lingering prejudices tested us, but our united front strengthened resilience. Jamie's personal growth shone in subtler ways. She continued therapy, delving into how our parents' subtle biases had influenced her. "Dad's jokes weren't harmless," she said during a session we attended together. We confronted him as a duo, calm, factual. "Those comments hurt, Dad. Time to update your views." He squirmed but absorbed it, later apologizing privately. "I'm trying." Mom, ever the peacemaker, beamed. "I'm so proud of how you've both grown." These moments of accountability healed generational wounds, turning pain into progress. The echoes of past betrayals grew fainter, overshadowed by consistent acts of amends. Jamie surprised us by contributing to the twins' college fund from her divorce settlement. No strings attached, just making up for lost time. We accepted a portion, using it wisely. It felt like moral restitution, balancing the emotional debt from years of silence. Internally, I wrestled with gratitude versus residual resentment, but therapy helped. Acceptance doesn't erase history. It transcends it. Confrontations became rare, but one last major test emerged. Mark, having hit rock bottom after losing custody, reached out via email. "I was wrong about everything. Can we talk?" Jamie debated for days. Is it closure or a trap? I advised wariness. Protect yourself. She agreed to a public meeting, boundaries firm. Afterward, she reported. He admitted his bigotry stemmed from insecurity. No full forgiveness yet, but understanding his side helps me move on. Her handling, mature, detached, impressed me. It closed a chapter, allowing focus on the future. Our intertwined lives flourished. Sarah returned to her art, creating a series inspired by family redemption. abstract pieces blending shadows and light. Jamie posed for one, her figure intertwined with symbolic threads representing connection. When exhibited, the collection drew crowds. Viewers approached. "Your story of reconciliation inspires me with my own family." Jamie teared up at the opening. "This is what change looks like." Yet, as harmony settled, I tallied the cumulative damages. The years of isolation had left scars on my mental health, anxiety that flared under stress, trust issues that sometimes strained my marriage. Sarah's patience had been tested to its limits, her own dreams deferred during the reconciliation drama. Jamie bore professional setbacks, promotions passed over due to her advocacy reputation, and the kids had witnessed too much conflict too young. Mia once asked, "Why was everyone mad before?" Jamie explained age appropriately, but it highlighted the ripple effects. Was all this growth worth the initial and ongoing pain? The narrative reached its quiet resolution in everyday moments. A sunny afternoon picnic in Central Park, the whole family sprawled on blankets, laughter echoing. Dad bounced Noah on his knee, Mom chased Ethan with giggles. Sarah sketched the scene while Jamie and I sat shoulder to shoulder. "We made it through the storm," she murmured. I squeezed her hand. "Yeah, but look at the wreckage we navigated." It was acknowledgement, not accusation. In the end, the story of our fractured and mended bond underscores the complexity of human choices. Shunning for identity, forgiving betrayal. Each carried profound consequences. From the ashes of hurt rose awakening and connection. But the path was fraught with moral ambiguity. Was shunning a sister for her queer identity ever justifiable under family or societal pressure? Or does true kinship demand unconditional acceptance no matter the cost?